Nick, the Derek Carr saga. I mean, I'm hoping it ends just soon, but
Yeah.
it's just dragging along. Yesterday you tweeted, kind of going back to January 6th, the in the season press conference, some of the words that Derek Carr had said during that about the status of injuries at the time. Kind of what has developed from that? What do you see going forward? Kind of a little bit more about his speech on Sunday, the sermon he spoke at in Las Vegas. Just kind of where is everything at right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, thoughts, prayers, all that stuff to him and his wife, how they're having a miscarriage. It's it's a terrible thing, terrible
Yeah,
loss, terrible thing to find out, to be surprised by, as he said. Like, it's you know, all that makes sense on why he hasn't been here to this point. And no judgment there. Take care of your family, do
yeah,
all that, get here after that. That's fine. That all makes sense. He said he has an MRI showing that he has an injury. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he went and got his own opinion on it and all that stuff. No doubt about it. So let's say all that stuff. Everything's true. Everything's as he says it is. Let's just say that. On the other side of that, though, like, it's still a very weird situation to me.
yeah.
Like, it's still very, like, he still wanted out of here. He still tried to get traded. He tried to get released, and then you have an injury that pops up in March, and then again, when it happened, we thought that was, hey, okay, that maybe that's possible. Maybe that's a thing that actually happened. He went outside, went to throw the ball. Ooh, it hurts. But like, it's just very hard to get your head around the whole thing. Like, on January 6th, he does this interview in the locker room, and he's asked directly, "Hey, do you need surgery on anything?" And he says, "Hey, no, everything's good. Like, had these scans, everything's going the right direction. We're going to be able to avoid that." He does say, barring a setback, which, okay, maybe he had a setback,
Good caveat.
but
Yeah,
yeah, and like, he didn't know, but he didn't know his shoulder was that bad in January, right? Like, that's a little bit peculiar. His brother said that went on NFL Network. We had heard it was the 23 AC joint.
yeah. From
Uh,
the Green Bay game, right?
yeah, a lot of people had
Yeah,
heard that it was a 23 Green Bay game. His brother goes on NFL Network and says it was the dive against New York. You remember the one where he dove and then he broke the fall with his left hand and he broke his left hand,
yeah.
and now,
That
like,
one.
the right shoulder is got hurt, and now he's gonna miss the whole next season because, like, that's a hell of a fall. Like, that's a lot of, I mean, and
There's
look,
a lot of force behind it.
like, he
Yeah,
came down like, he came down kinda crazy, like, maybe that is how it happened, but, like, where it's hard for me to understand, and I would love to do an interview on this because, like, this is a legitimate blank for me, and I'm not throwing shade on any of this. Like,
yeah, for
it's just
sure.
very hard for me to understand how he was attempting to throw in practice with a shoulder that was hurt so bad that he's gonna have to get surgery, and it's gonna erase the whole next season, potentially.
Right.
And the only issue that was spoken of by him, by anyone, was the grip on the ball. It wasn't that he couldn't get his arm up and throw, it was that he couldn't grip it. Like, we were told he was throwing the ball in practice, and, like, maybe it looked different. Maybe it was oversold. I don't know. I don't think it was, but maybe it was. Maybe it was oversold when it was told. But he was able to go out to practice and throw the ball, but he couldn't grip it. And now in March, the shoulder, it's just hard to understand. Like, and it all could be very true, and it could just
Right.
all be very unfortunate, and
Right.
it could all be that they just handled the communication on this incredibly, incredibly poorly, and it's all exactly as it seems. But man, it's just like, it's just one of them things where you're just like, this is weird. Like, it is weird. Not just because it's weird, it doesn't mean it's not true, but it does still mean it's weird. And, like, I'm sorry. Like, I know Derek was like, and I understand. Like, if everybody's saying all this stuff about you and it's all lies and you're living this, like, it's probably incredibly frustrating. But, like, on the other side of that, you got to have the awareness of, like, how weird and hard it is to understand it, and, like, maybe make an effort to clean it up a little bit. And if you don't clean it up, you just got to be okay with people talking about it. But you can't say, like, you're pissed off about how everybody's talking about this, and there's no information offered to anyone. There's no questions being answered, and wonder why it's going on. Well, it's going on because, like, it's just, like, not been addressed at all. And you have to
Yeah.
understand it's weird. Like, all that had to be done is, like, someone behind the scenes goes, "Hey guys, this is off the record, but just for your own knowledge, like Derek got hurt against the Giants, went out to try to throw shoulder. He has a family issue he's dealing with, and like we're just not going to say anything about it right now. And like everybody would just be like, "Oh, okay," like and just be like, "Yeah, look, we're gonna have to wait and see how this one plays out." You tell people, adults, that you have a family issue, you don't have to explain it. It's just
Right.
like, "Oh, okay," like something's going on here, and we're all compassionate enough individuals, like that you're just going to leave it alone. And even if you're an asshole and you don't want to leave it alone, you're going to leave it alone because you don't want to be an asshole in public. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah.
so that's going to put the fire out, but like the fire burns and there's no info. And we all know you were trying to get out of here. And there were all the back channel ways of like that message getting out to everybody in the world, that to the point where it was just like, even after the restructure, there was still people on national TV talking about how the door was open for Derek to be traded still. Like that message got out, but this one didn't. And that's why it happens like that. So like to stand up there and to throw shade at Diana Rossini is crazy to me. Like if she's wrong about it, say she's wrong about it. But like to be dismissive and say it in that manner, like I just feel like the communication of this has been handled very, very poorly. And shout out to Diana, top 5 reporter of all time covering the NFL, does an amazing job. Most accurate like reporters out there. Shout
There
out
we
to
go. Yeah,
Diana.
yeah. Shout
Yeah.
out to Diana. She's nice. Yeah, I met her a couple times. She's pretty nice.
She's great at her job. Like that's all
Yeah,
that matters. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But prefacing this with this could all be true. You know what I mean? With the circumstances of his injury, but I just like you said, I find it so weird that you have this hokey pokey injury where you put your left hand in and now your right shoulder is hurt.
Yeah, it's
And then
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, and then you just don't communicate it at all. And then on
It,
top of that, now you go on the biggest communication channel in the world in YouTube, and of course, all of that is probably pre-taped and all of that type of stuff. But the feel and the timing and everything like of that is just so odd to me.
yeah, and look again, like he came down like straight down. Like he did. He might have hit it and like crashed.
Yeah,
He got a concussion on it too. Like maybe it all happened, but it's just like, man, like you hit your left hand, like, and like maybe it did, like maybe it did, but like just everything added together is just
yeah,
like it's like, damn, he hurt his right shoulder on that. That's crazy. But like then you go back and there's no mention of it. It's not on the injury report. He's not talking about it. Rizzy's talking about how close he is to being able to throw.
right.
It's detailed everywhere about
Yeah,
like shooting up the hand and all this stuff. And like Derek didn't say anything about his shoulder being hurt. Like there's just nothing there. So it's just there's gaps in all this. And again, like it might be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying there's gaps and it's hard to understand it. But there's hard to understand things that end up being true all the time. But as we sit here today, it just all still smells weird. And then they draft a replacement. Like it just feels like just let him go.
yeah.
Just let him go. Set him free. Set him free. Set him free. Set him free. Like just
You lost to
it's
40 M's. That's just let that be that. And yeah,
try to
yeah.
get it back if you can. Like I think that's the whole thing. But yeah,
Okay.
look, I think the whole thing with playing it nice, playing it safe, nobody saying anything. I think they all want to try to reach some type of resolution to get it out of here, and they're gonna let the world burn down around it. Um, to go up there like that, if that's what's going on, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I understand he's probably really frustrated, and he's been through a lot in his life, and like you have a like trying to put myself in his shoes. Your family experiences a miscarriage. Everybody's talking shit. Like you think you're really hurt. Like, you probably are, whatever. Like it's
Right.
probably very hard to deal with. And it's probably very hard to have the perspective of like stepping out and being like, why is this situation like this?
Right.
Um, it's just probably a lot to deal with. So I get it from his perspective, like putting myself in his shoes and then you're on that. Like, I get it. I understand. I understand. But like, there is still like, sitting on the other side of it. And like, it's still weird, man. And like, we
Something
still don't know
smells
what's
funny.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still don't know what's going on. Do you want to be a member of this team? Are you going to show up and mentor these guys? Are you going to be bought in on the process? Have you talked to Kellen Moore? Okay. We know you have one time. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you getting bought into this? Like where are you at within this? Because you moved out of here. Your house is about to go up for sale, probably. Like your kids are going to school in Fresno, and then you tried to get a trade. Like, so where are you at in this? And now they just drafted a guy. Like, where are you at in this? Like, we haven't seen you. This is going on. Like the OTAs are going on, and like or whatever. The
The
OTAs are
offseason.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The and again, and again, I get you not being here right now, but are you coming and when? Like, what is the deal? Like, what is going on? Um, be there for your wife for as long as you need until everybody's healed and safe and feeling good. Where was this thing was in Vegas? Like,
Yeah,
but like I guess but like could you fly? Like I just don't know. Like it's weird that Mickey Loomis is like, hey, we're trying to get clarity on the situation. Why doesn't he have clarity? Like it's both sides. Like it's just and it's probably gonna settle itself or whatever. But like until it does, it's just a very hard thing to understand overall. And again, total sympathy, but as a reporter, I have a job to do too, and I'm trying to piece this together.
yeah,
And maybe some things aren't for me to know. You got a family thing, all that stuff. That's nobody's business. Like that didn't have to be put out there, but like on April 11th, whenever this leaked, by April 12th, like when it's starting to like become a runaway train, somebody somewhere should have got a message about something, and it doesn't have to be me, but like somebody somewhere, Mike Garafolo, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, Diana Rossini, Tom Pelissero, Josina Anderson, like Jordan Schultz, like somebody somewhere should have got a message. This is what Albert Breer would have been a great outlet for it. Hey, here's the behind the scenes on it. Like this is what somebody somewhere should have got a message to put out this fire, and like it didn't happen. And like I just don't get why it was handled like this. I just don't get it. And maybe there's a reason for it that I can't see, but I just like I'm just ready for it to be done, man.
yeah.
Like I just
So am
am. Like
I.
it's just exhausting at this point.
Yeah,
Like let's just move on. Like you just drafted this dude, like just move on. And I think ultimately that's where it ends up. I cannot picture him playing quarterback for this team. Maybe he's more bought in than anybody knows, but boy, we know you tried to get traded. So
yeah. And then we got head proof on everybody else, all those other veterans who are at the facility, who are, doing a whole bunch of other things team related. And look, man, it's just a wild situation. It's a weird situation, but I've seen the okey doke run before on other levels. This kind of smells like that.
I mean, it could be, and again, like I keep feeling like, man, he should be there, but then like he does have this family situation going
Yeah.
on, so I'm not going to ostracize him for not being there day one, bought in, everything. Like maybe that eventually comes, and maybe there is a hey, f you, everybody was wrong. I'm here, I'm bought in. I'm going to mentor these guys, surgery or not. Like this is what I'm going to do. I'm bought in on the system. Maybe he ends up showing it, but it's just hard to see it right now.
And you see in player tweets about how they're just listing other quarterbacks and he wasn't listed in there.
Yep.
So,
It's just look, like there's only it's very hard to have any other perception other than this is weird.